Hello and welcome back to another video, another fish room vlog. Today we're going to be doing a full fish room tour. I'm going to show you my two fish rooms that I've currently got and all the plans that I planned for the fish room. So let's take a look at this main fish room. So first of all, it's a little bit messy towards the fish room because I've been cleaning up the garden a little bit, trying to make some space, pulling weeds out and stuff so that I can put my goldfish pond somewhere there. We'll take a look in a moment, but let's go inside and I'll show you the tanks and fish that I've got in this room. So the first tank we see here, this is a 2-foot tank. I think it's around 15-16 gallons in US, but yeah, this is the standard 2-foot tank here in Japan. I've got a whole bunch of my koi tuxedo guppies and they're just amazing. I want to try to line breed these in the near future. Right now there's a ton of fry in this tank. As you guys can see there, those tiny little fish swimming in the back. There's a whole bunch of them. And yeah, I love this tank. So this is also what I call my plant stock tank. It's where I keep my extra plants that I've got. So you can see some, this is called 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀. I've got some bucephalandra in here. This plant is a philodendron Papua New Guinea. It's an aquatic plant that can grow out of the water, so that's pretty cool. And then I've got some Anubias Nana Petite floating in these little trays that I made for them. So yeah, this is currently the guppy tank. Next to that, I've got my quarantine tank. I actually want to make these two tanks quarantine tanks so that when I bring new fish in, I can always have these two tanks to quarantine them. So right here, I've got some rainbow fish. You can see these are the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 praecox. I've got 5 of them, and I do want to get more. And then I've also got some of this 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 lacustris. Did you guys just see that yawn? Or that mouth stretch? I don't know what that was, but yeah, really nice. They're still tiny, but the lacustris, also known as the turquoise rainbow fish, they get quite big, so I'm excited to see those guys grow. But these rainbow fish will soon be going into this tank right here. And yeah, I've also got one more fish hiding in here. I don't know if you guys saw, but in this pleco cave right here, take a look at that. I've got a leopard frog pleco, the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀, I think. Can't remember, but I think that's what it is. And there was only one of that guy. If there was like 8 or something, I would have taken them all because I want to breed these fish a lot. Yeah, but that guy is amazing. So I'm hoping to get more in the future. In Japan, we call this pleco the Queen Imperial Tiger Pleco, which I think is a pretty cool name. Just my opinion. But yeah, down below, we've got these two tanks, and these two tanks I'm gonna redo and do something else. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do with them, but just a ton of hair algae growing in this tank, but the fish are really healthy. These right here are the Sawbwa resplendens, also known as the Asian Rummynose Rasbora, and take a look at how good they look. Those red faces and the red stripes on the tails with a blue body. One of the most incredible looking fish in my opinion, all the males. The females are this olive colored. This one has a missing eye from the very beginning, but yeah, I really do want to try to breed these fish in the future too. So I always say I want to breed fish, but I haven't started any breeding stuff yet, so, well, except for the guppies. The guppies I've bred, but guppies are super easy to breed, so yeah, I can't say anything about that, but that is one of the plans for the future, to breed some of these fish. And then in this tank, we've got a tank full of guppy grass and Vallisneria that just isn't doing well because the nutrients in the soil has depleted. This soil has been going for more than 1 year now, and there's just no nutrients, so the plants are struggling. The guppy grass seems to be doing good, so I'm hoping the guppy grass takes over, but before that, I'll definitely be redoing this tank. I've got my ember tetras in here, honey gouramis, I've got some longfin white cloud mountain minnows, and I've got this one tuxedo koi guppy. He had a bent tail. I didn't want him breeding with the other fish, so I just moved him down here. I just can't cull fish. I don't have the heart to like kill them, so, or feed them to other fish, so yeah, just let them live in another tank where they won't breed. So yeah, that is this rack right here. This is a wooden stand that I made for this these 4 tanks, and that's how it's gonna be for the time being. I might change this thing around in the future. And then over here, this is another wooden stand that I built. This stand is much taller. It fits 4 cube aquariums. These are 1-foot cubes or 30-centimeter cube tanks. I've got 4 of them. Only one is set up right now, and that's because I don't really want to set up these tanks because I'm planning to put some walls in this room, and to do that, we're gonna have to move the tanks in to the room, into the center of the room to put the walls up. So I'm hoping I can do that really soon so that I can get the tanks up and running. That's why I haven't added tanks here. We're supposed to put tanks here and here. But yeah, for right now, you can see the room is super bare. You can see the metal even on the ceiling. There's no insulation at all. And yeah, when the winter comes, it's super cold in this room, and I'm gonna have to put heaters in every single tank, which is not gonna be fun on the electric bill. And then in the summer, it gets super hot here, and I'm gonna have to cool each and every tank down with fans or ice bottles. I'm not so sure, and it's gonna be really tough to do that. So I really want to insulate these walls, put some walls in, and maybe get an air conditioner in this room to heat and cool this room the whole year round. Except in the spring and autumn season, because those times are the best times to keep fish because the temperature is just perfect, depending on what fish you keep. But yeah, right here, this is like my food station right now. I've got a cup, iced lemon tea. These are some of the foods that I feed my fish. So I've got my mini catfish food. I'll show you what I feed these to later. Well, we've got the pleco, but I also feed another fish this right here. And then I've got some flake. This is called wild flake. It smells really good. I've got some of this. This is 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀 worms. And the nice thing about this is it's like little cubes. I don't know if you can see right here, but it sticks onto the glass of your aquarium, and you can, it's kind of like 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀 tabs, except in a worm form, so that's kind of cool. I like this. And then this one right here is ADA food. I've also tried out some of this ADA food. It's not too pricey here in Japan, so that's a good thing. I know in other countries ADA is much more expensive than the price you pay in Japan, so I'm pretty lucky about that. But this food, my fish seem to like, so yeah. And this one that I just dropped, this is a type of flake food that I brought back from Singapore, and then this is a pellet food. Then this is some more ADA food, except in a smaller form, smaller pellet size. And then this one is some fry food. So I've got a mix of food, and I also do feed frozen foods at times, like brine shrimp and frozen bloodworms. Right here, these are my Endler's live bearers that I've also bred. You can see all these little fish are babies. We've got the female right there, looks a little bit pregnant, so hopefully we can get more babies, and there should be some males in here. Let's try to find a male. There's a nice looking male right there. Take a look at those red stripes. I really love this fish. But the females, unlike the males, they don't get much color, so that's kind of sad. But yeah, I like this tank. I might take it down in the future so that I can move this rack easier, so that we can put the walls in. But I don't even know if the walls are going to be a thing yet. I really hope I can do them this year, and I hope it's not too expensive, because if it's too expensive, it's going to hurt the wallet. But yeah, I've got a bunch of floating plants in here, frog bit, and as well as red root floaters. And I've got glass lids on these as well, so prevent any fish from jumping out. Oh yeah, and we've got a tank down here. This is just a 45-centimeter tank, or 1.5 feet, 18 inches. You can see I've got a bunch of Java moss in here, and I think there are a few little scuds as well. Is this what you call a scud? You can see that thing crawling around there. Yeah, I think that's a scud, but yeah, I'm just keeping this Java moss in here for future use, maybe some breeding use. I can breed the white cloud mountain minnows in that, so just keeping that right there. Over here, this is a 4-foot tank, I think around 65 gallons. It's 4 feet by 18 inches front to back and 18 inches top to bottom. So I think it's 65 gallons according to my calculations. If I'm mistaken or you know better than me, please comment down below and help me out here. But yeah, I've got a bunch of these Parkinsoni rainbows, no, fake Parkinsoni rainbows. They're hybrids. I bought them as Parkinsoni rainbow fish, but they look nothing like a Parkinsoni rainbow fish, so I was pretty disappointed about that. I need to put some root tabs in here for the cryptocorns because this is just gravel, and yeah, cryptocorns are heavy root feeders. But you also see some plants mixed in, like this Anubias coffeefolia. That's just temporarily in there. I've got this Java fern. This is quite a special type of Java fern. It's called Thor's Hammer, and the leaves are shaped a little bit unique. You can't really see right now, but they're kind of cool. I'll show you guys more in the future, close-ups of that plant. And then I've got one type of Amazon sword here. Pretty neat little plant. So yeah, that is this tank, and I've also got some floating plants. This is a type of water sprite. This is a floating water sprite. I'll put the name up on the screen, but this water sprite, it can't grow submerged underwater. However, this one, you can. So this one can grow underwater as well as a floater, so that's pretty cool. This tank right here is a tank that I'm currently using for medicating this rainbow fish. This is a 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 and he's got some Camallanus redworms. If you look really carefully, I don't know how well it'll show on camera, but he's got Camallanus redworms in there, and we just got the medications today. This started around 3 weeks ago, and I was looking so hard for medications, but I couldn't find anything, and I searched online. I found this store that was selling drugs, medication drugs, and they happened to be selling this product called 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀. I ordered it from them, and they didn't have it in stock, so they had to order more from Thailand. So this came from Thailand all the way here. It took about 3 weeks, so now today I can finally start treating this guys, get those worms out. But he was in this tank. I was keeping the water warm, changing the water like every 2 days, and adding salts in here to try to relieve him. But he's just been struggling. He's still eating bloodworms and brine shrimp. He doesn't take pellets, so that kind of sucks. But I have a feeling he had this disease from when he was at the farm. So yeah, they were probably feeding him live foods and stuff, and he was actually in this tank, so I should medicate this entire tank as well. But these fish have been absolutely perfect the entire time. No signs of Camallanus redworms at all. I should really treat this tank, but for the time being, I'm gonna leave it like this. I don't see any problems with them. These guys are super active. If I lift the lid up, and you'll see, they go crazy for food. You can just see, I got the food ready for them, and they've all come to this corner of the tank. They know that this is where they get fed. Just take a look at how active they are. And I always put the lid down because they splash water all over the place. Oh, and the other fish in here, the striped fish, those are just little royal tetras, 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀. Still have no clue how to pronounce that fish, but you can just see how active these rainbow fish are. So I'm not too worried about them having Camallanus redworms. And I think the reason why they don't have it is because this guy hasn't passed out his worms. So yeah, I'm hoping he passes those worms out. They're in his body right now. Hope he can pass it out in this tank and we can get him all sorted out. You might be saying, why not just use levamisole or fenbendazole, flubendazole, whatever? We don't have that medication in Japan, and I've called up many places asking if they've got those medications. They just don't have it here, so yeah, I don't know what to do. So that's why I managed to find this 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀, and we're gonna sort this thing out. I really want to fix this guy. Over here, now this is the same type of rack, same dimensions that I built, and this one is just 3 feet, so it's 1 feet shorter than this. It's 18 inches front to back, 18 inches top to bottom. If you guys know the gallons of this, comment down below as well to help me out here. I think it's about 45 gallons or 50 gallons, something like that. But we've got a bunch of goldfish in here that I got from one of our family's friends. And Yeah, the goldfish, they're doing really good. Unfortunately, one passed away though. The little tiny guy that was always swimming upside down, he sadly passed away a couple of days ago, so that really stinks. But the rest, they're doing good, they're eating well, so I'm happy about that. Where's the other guy? Where's the other guy? Oh, there it is. The black telescope, the black moor. Yeah, they're always hungry though. And one thing I did is I started feeding them sinking pellets, because many of you guys were telling me feed sinking pellets, it'll prevent the swim bladder problems. So that's one thing I started to do. And yeah, they're liking the food. So hopefully though, we can get them outside into the yard, the garden, and get them into a pond. That's why I've cleared out this section. You can see there's a clear path now. This path used to be covered in weeds. No one was taking care of this, so I decided to go out and pluck all those weeds out. And I've built an open space over there behind this tree, which you can't really see here. We'll take a look in a moment. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get a pond out there just for these goldfish, and then we can add more, give them more friends, and that'll be a fun time. So up here we've got another 2-foot tank, a little bit small for these fish, but because these fish are still tiny, it's okay for them. These are my Endlicheri Bichirs. They've grown quite a bit though since I got them, so that's a good thing. I've got 2 of them in here. You can see the other guy hiding behind this plant. Oh look here, this guy's coming out. Now the middle section of the room right here in these wooden boxes is where I'm currently just temporarily keeping some of my hardscape materials. So there are some rocks in here. Not all the containers are filled, but I'm slowly collecting more rocks so that I can use them for future aquascaping projects. Right here, this is an air pump that I used to run in this room, but it was just too powerful for the amount of tanks I was running, and I was having to release a bunch of air so to not ruin the pump, and it was just getting too loud, so I stopped running it. Now all the tanks are running on hang-on back filters, and some are sponge filters using smaller air pumps. But yeah, I'm planning on using this outdoors for the goldfish pond. This is a container, about 16 gallons, 60 liters, and this is how I do my water changes. So I drain out all the water into this bucket, and then I bring this, it's on little rolly wheels that I built for it. So yeah, you can move it around, and then I move this outside. Oh, my towel just fell, but I bring this outside and I drain the water into a drain there. So it's much better than doing buckets, the bucket method, because you're just having to carry a whole bunch of buckets, and that's not fun. So in the future, I do want to build PVC piping around the entire room so that I can drain water out much easier. But for right now, because we don't have the walls in, I don't want to move forward with building those PVC stuff, because when we put the walls in, I'm gonna have to move all the tanks into the center of the room so that the workers can do their thing, because yeah, with these tanks in the way, then you're not gonna be able to put walls in here. And some of you might think, why not just do the walls yourself, DIY it? I'm not at that level. I can't, that's out of my range, because these are metal walls, and I don't know how to put walls I don't know how to like frame this entire room. You can just see I wouldn't know how to put a wall in here. I can build stands like this, but I've got no clue how to put a wall into this room. You can see one of my DIY CO2s there that I'm currently not using. Yeah, so the rest of this room is what my uncle is using it for his car's spare parts. So he's got a Volkswagen. You can see one of his spare trunks right there, or engine covers. It's a rear engine car, so he's got some tail lights. This is his other car's tail lights, the Honda Beat, and yeah, you can see here his Volkswagen. Maybe I can put some images of his cars right now, but that is this room, basically how it is right now. You can see the ceiling. We've also got to put ceilings in because we don't want the air to escape when we air condition or heat this room in the future. Now let's go and take a look outside and see. I'll show you guys where I'm going to put the pond. Alright, so this is what it looks like outside. We've got another room here that is super messy, and I've got to clean this room up. Maybe I can use it someday, but for now, this is what this garden looks like, overgrown with weeds. So yeah, but a few weeks ago we weren't able to walk through here because it was just too many plants, too many weeds growing. So right here, this is the open space that I've kind of created. This section was also filled with weeds. If you join the member and you watch some of the videos there, you'll be able to see what I mean. Like, this place was just covered. There were rocks everywhere that I had to pull out. There's a large stepping stone here. I might shift over so that we can put the pond right there. I want to put the pond right there. It's going to be an above ground pond, but I think it'll be really nice. And yeah, you'll be able to access it from inside. Right now the curtains are down, so you can't see inside, but yes, so this is where I plan the pond to be. The pond should be around 4 feet front to back. 4 feet side to side. Front to back is about 2.5 feet or something like that. Close to 3 feet. And then it will be around 2 feet tall. So, not the largest pond, but it will be much bigger than the tank that the goldfish are in right now. And we should be able to add a couple more goldfish to that tank. But this is basically what the yard looks like. It's overgrown. One of the dreams is to have a natural ecosystem pond with koi or rice fish that we can put in there, and I think it'll be perfect because we've got these large rocks here that we'll be able to use for that natural pond, but I don't have the skill set to do that on my own right now, so that will have to be in the future. Maybe when I have a lot of time and some friends to help me dig this thing up. But for now, we're just gonna have an above ground pond right here for the goldfish. Maybe we can have a spillway bowl. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that'll be coming very soon in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. And now for the mini studio. This room is just a complete mess right now. You can see the plans for the goldfish pond right here that I drew up. It'll be a plastic container. I was thinking of doing one out of wood and putting a liner inside, but I just think getting a tub like this is much easier. So that's the plan for the goldfish pond. But right here, I still haven't scaped the 2-foot Aquascape tank. And that's because I've just been thinking. I was thinking of moving all the tanks in this room to the garage. We've got to do the nature style scape. You guys voted for a nature style aquascape, so I'm gonna do that very, very soon. But I don't know if I'm gonna do it in this room or the garage. Probably this room, because we still haven't figured out everything that's going on in the garage fish room, so we'll probably just do another round of aquascapes in this fish room before we move it all into the garage. And then we've got the other tank, the contest aquascape, which I can't really show you everything. I'll show you a small little glimpse. So that's what it looks like right now, but I've already submitted the photo for the contest, so watch out for that in the next few months, in the next 1 or 2 months. So yeah, that is this room right here. Kind of messy right now. We've got the canister filter waiting to be used, the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀. I still haven't opened it up. We've also got a back screen right here, a light screen that I've been using on the contest tank, the 120 centimeter tank. If you look closely, you can see the blue and white gradation. That is the light screen. It's been working really well. I'll put a link for this in the description below. I hope there's a link for it, but yeah, you should be able to get it on Amazon. It's a really nice light screen, and I've been happy with it. I still haven't used this one for this tank, but I will be, and yeah, it's really nice. And we've got the 𝗲𝘋𝗋𝗃 the 𝗲𝘋𝗋𝗃 Vivid RGB 2. Really nice looking light, and I've just got to get this tank set up really soon. And I've also got this poster right here, this ADA poster that I received from one of my neighbors who used to run an aquarium shop in his garage. So that was quite cool, and he did a lot of ADA stuff, so he had a few stuff that he could give away to me, and I was lucky to receive a couple of nice posters. So I've got to get this framed up soon. So there's lots of changes and updates to be made on this fish room. This fish room is just in the beginning stages. We're just getting this room started, so make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of the videos. We're gonna have more tanks, hopefully get walls in this year if I can afford it. Let's really hope, because I haven't got the quotation yet. I asked the guy, but he hasn't come with a quotation, so hopefully it's a good price and we can get walls up in this room. And as always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Did I say that? And I'll see you guys next time.